I've always based my company for sure by the win-win. Everybody in Kensington knows me at Rejuve because I also promote them. I'm all about bringing up small business owners and shopping locally. And yeah, it's all about taking care of your other like-minded small business entrepreneurs. And I enjoy doing it too. We're all like a family. If you need something, oh, don't worry, I've got you. Or we are all in it together to help build each other up.
Welcome, fellow entrepreneurs and goal-getters, to Entrepreneurial Elevation, Unleashing Greatness Within, and my special guest today, Elanna Halisky. And I'm super excited to have her on here today because she has been a staple in Calgary as a business owner for the last 20 years with a storefront business down in Kensington. And I just think that's such a huge accomplishment. I'm so proud of her, and I'm excited to talk to her about business, being a successful businesswoman, an entrepreneur, and how she stood the test of time. And so Elanna is the owner and operator at Rejuve Health and Wellness for the last 20 years here in Calgary. She has a lot of different services that range from weight loss and infrared body wraps and sauna, laser, body contouring, and skincare such as collagen tightening and remodeling. She does laser hair removal, massages. So she has a lot of services around health and wellness and skincare. And she's really passionate about helping others look and feel her best. And so excited to have her, and just welcome, Elanna. Thanks for being on today.
Aw, thanks, Kelley. It's an honor to be here with you.
Awesome. And so, Elanna, let's go back to the beginning, because as I was sharing with you earlier, I'm excited to talk to you. First of all, I just think in businesses and in entrepreneurship, I'm always really impressed with people who have an idea and act on it. And so 20 years ago, my question is, how did you come up with this idea for your business? Because a lot of the services I just mentioned, they're common now, but back in the day, you would have been a trendsetter. And so I'm just curious about how you came up with the idea, and what was the decision-making process where you're like, you know what, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to be a business owner, and I'm going to have a storefront here in Calgary.
Great question, Kelley. Yeah, 20 some odd years ago, I came across a lady that was living in Montreal, and she had brought in the infrared body wraps to Montreal. And I went down there, trained, came back and started practicing it at my mom's spa. Back then was Body Rapture. Practiced it for about 8 months, came across so many amazing testimonials, clients, just the results I saw with health and wellness and weight loss and detoxification. It was more of a health and wellness treatment rather than like a spa service. So I woke up talking about it, went to sleep talking about it. I just had this vision of more of like a medical spa that just practiced in the infrared body wrap. So it was completely new to Canada. Nobody had heard about the infrared detox body wraps before. And yeah, just was passionate about it. I moved from Edmonton to Calgary at the age of 18. Took about 4 months till I found my location here in Kensington, the heart of Kensington, for the past 20 years. And yeah, just brand new to Calgary, brand new concept, and I just ran with it.
Okay, so that's cool. So you know what I love about your story is that your mom obviously was in business. So I get a sense there might have been some inspiration there, similar industries. You have your passion around health and wellness. You find this cool, innovative technology, and you decide to have the courage to move cities and open a business, which once again, I think that's really fascinating. And Elanna, talk to us about your mindset, because my listeners are entrepreneurs, personal development oriented people who've set goals and like to achieve goals. That requires a really a growth mindset to have the courage to do something like that. So talk to us about the mindset you had. You're only 18 and 19 back then. So how did you have the courage to take that leap of faith?
I think it was passion. I was so passionate about in that era, it was a lot of women taking all these pills for weight loss or those birth controls where women were gaining weight a ton. So I really was more so interested in the more health and wellness of being more on a mindset to taking care of women. Yeah. And I have 7 sisters. So obviously I'm very passionate about being your best version of yourself.
Wow. I didn't actually know you had 7 sisters. I just learned that about you today.
Really? Yeah. 7 sisters. My poor mom.
That's awesome. And I know too, just knowing you throughout the years, I know a big part of your business is that you like literally want to make a difference, right? So you had your passion. It was coming from a space of wanting to impact health and women's health. So that's cool. And what about when you first got started? Did you have pushback from anybody? Because I'm in business and I do things, and a lot of times it takes the inner courage, and I'll have my own doubts I'm working through. So speak to us about possibly that. Did some inner dialogue and inner doubts come up as you actually moved and started setting up your business and making it a reality? And then did you have outside circumstances or people questioning, what are you doing? This is a bit crazy. That's a risk. What if it doesn't work out? Was that around you as you were getting going?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, for sure. Being 18, changing cities but I just knew in my heart that this is my passion and this is what I'm supposed to do. And I was always bettering myself by reading motivational books and surrounding myself around like-minded individuals, entrepreneurial people. And that made me have that faith that, you know what, I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing and I'm following my heart.
Yeah. So yeah, it's who you listen to, which really made a difference as well, which is important, right? When we're going after big goals, is choose who we listen to, where we can get a lot of the support and inner strength from. I agree. What about your vision? So you decided to do this. Did you have a long-term vision? Now that you're here 20 years later, when you first got started, was that even a concept that you imagined? Or were you like, I'm just going to give this a go and see what happens?
Actually, my vision was to have franchises of Rejuve. But obviously, we've gone through a few recessions. We've gone through a pandemic. It's always scary to take it to the next step. And yeah, Rejuve was ideally supposed to be a franchise type company. Haven't gotten to that yet, but yeah, still something that can be down the road. You never know.
Absolutely. When you mentioned some of the challenges just briefly there, so speak to that, right? So you've been in business for 20 years. What would you say have been 3 to 4 of the challenges you've come up against being a business owner, and how did you overcome them?
I think how I've geared my company is being affordable. And I think that's what's kept me in business for so long is one, I'm affordable. I don't hike up my prices to make a huge profit. Like I said, I'm really in this for the passion of it and to help others without breaking their bank. And I do certain specials throughout the month to help my clients to even afford more different types of services for themselves or their family members, which I found that has been really beneficial for my industry.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And rules would be just knowing where to spend your money on marketing is a big one. I find word of mouth is the biggest, making your clients number one priority that they tell their friends and family without me having to break the bank by spending a bunch of money on marketing has been a big one.
Yeah. And so it's funny because as you speak of marketing, what comes to my mind is when you first got started, I don't even think we had Facebook back then, right? So I'm not sure yet.
It's on radio.
What did we have?
We had radio. I was on
radio.
Yeah, I even had my own voice on radio. And actually, that was very beneficial.
Yeah. So then speak to that in the way of, as an entrepreneur or business owner, the importance of the ability to be adaptable, right? Because you started 20 years ago. And if I'm just thinking of marketing, it's probably the organic grassroots flyers and door knocking and then radio, like you're sharing, and maybe even newspapers, right? And then now it goes to, oh my gosh, this thing called Facebook. And then it's like, oh, what's this Instagram thing and Twitter and right. So chat to just maybe your experience in being adaptable, and what advice would you give those business owners out there? Like you can't stay stuck on one thing, especially if it's not working.
Really great question, Kelley. To be honest with you, what I think has been the most effective is networking. Networking, going to charity events, giving services to charity events, hosting charity events, hosting women's events, really surrounding yourself with like-minded clientele or friends or colleagues or what have you. I used to do a bunch of those trade shows, just really getting your name out there, like stomping the grounds, handing out used to be business cards. Nobody really does that very much anymore. But yeah, it's been a really interesting couple of generations of how everything's totally shifted to everything social media and reels. And I'm still trying to get to that point.
Me too. And I think that you mentioned something really important there, like networking, that's never going to go out of style.
No. And people want a true, authentic shaking hands and really getting to know each other, being more personable.
Yeah, I agree. And I've been to a couple of the events you've put on. And so maybe speak to that too, because one thing I think that you're really great at is creating community and creating a space for other people to shine. So can you speak to the value? It's not just about networking where you're going out and have your agendas that people know about you, yet you also want to go out and you want to empower and enlift other entrepreneurs, which then of course in turn benefits your business. Yet maybe just speak to building community and how important that's been for you.
I've always based my company for sure by the win-win. I'm Everybody in Kensington knows me and Rejuve because I also promote them. I'm all about bringing up small business owners and shopping locally. And yeah, it's all about taking care of your other like-minded small business entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy doing it too. We're all like a family. If you need something, oh, don't worry, I've got you. Or we are all in it together to help build each other up.
Yeah, I love that. It's something I've been thinking about lately too, even with social media. It's like, how do we give value, and then ask? It's kind of like, I think Gary Vee talks about it. I forget what he says, but it's like left when you're punching. So like value, and then ask for something that you want for yourself. So just having that on top of mind, when you give value to other people, they're going to more likely genuinely refer you just based on the fact that you did something of service.
Mm-hmm. The win-win, always been my motto.
So you're out there networking and you're working within the community, you're doing cross promotions. What would you say has been like when it comes, I'm just thinking of branding and reinventing yourself, right? Because I'm sure you've had a few chapters throughout the last 20 years as well. And so how do you stay current?
Good question. I would say quality over quantity. I have my InMode machine, which is the top of laser. I've got Eminence skincare line, which has been around forever and also speaks for itself, amazing products. And then my one-of-a-kind infrared body wrap, which has just been tested and true for the past 20 years as well, with physical before and after results. Yeah, I would say quality over quantity, providing a service that is pretty much highly addictive that they keep on coming back. Like in the 20 years, I still have clients coming to Rejuve since I very first opened my doors.
Yeah.
I think that speaks volumes.
And what you just talked about, maybe speak a bit more into that. Like you said, so on the top of staying current, I guess I have two questions around that. How do you attract new clients would be question number one. And then number two, how do you maintain clients?
Attracting new clients. I know I keep on saying it, but it really truly is word of mouth. My clients are my walking around advertisements. So that itself speaks for itself. And of course, social media nowadays is so much in your face. I do spend money on a little bit through Facebook. But yeah, I would say biggest is word of mouth and just keeping my clients happy, offering little bit of promotional stuff. If they refer a client, they get a referral fee. And so I find those little tidbits to keep the clients coming in by giving them I give $50 off if you refer two clients.
Okay. Yes, referral fees.
Yeah.
And I would also say too, like around the attracting new clients, I just went to an event of yours the other day, right? So once again, you immerse yourself in the community and you do other things for other people to be noticed, right? So it's a really great way to promote yourself as well, which I think you've done a lot of throughout the years.
And promote all the other amazing entrepreneurial women out there, having them being recognized. And we do plan on every 2 months be hosting those Bold Boss brunches, which I'm super stoked about. And it's just building a community of like-minded women all getting together and just getting pumped up and supporting each other.
What would you say to entrepreneurs who are just getting going or they're in business in the importance of having a target market? Just because we're talking about branding and bringing in new clients. And I've been thinking about this myself lately because I just started a new business, right, a few months ago. So I've been like, who's my avatar? Who actually is my soul client or the person that I want to attract such that I could cater my marketing towards it or attract people quicker? Do you think that's important or do you just kind of service everybody? Do you have a client market? Do you think that's important? What's your thoughts on that?
I do think that's important. Mine's for sure 18 to 60, 65 is my clientele base, which because I have such a variety of different services that I'm able to have that massive gap in between. And beauty will never go away. I think that's the biggest reason why I'm still in business is beauty will always be there. Everybody's always wanting to look and feel better for their partner, for their job, for themselves. Yeah. But you know what? I have about 25% of my clientele males too, and men that you would never even think. And they're more conscious about their aging and weight loss and feeling better. It's a tough one to say. Keeping it very focused on your actual clientele base is for sure what you should be focusing on.
Yeah. It's interesting you bring that up. I'm sure you've seen a shift in men being more open to having it's become more okay. The stigma's gone away from that.
Yeah. Having my male clientele leave, being like, yeah, that's what I should be spending my time and money on. Looking and feeling better.
Yeah. And what would you say? I'm always in business for me. I'm like, if you want to make more money, one of the most important things that you want to have is obviously confidence within what you're doing. And to have that confidence, we'll go back to use your tagline, looking and feeling better. I feel like health is wealth. And then when you look better, you feel better, you're more confident, and you can close more deals and so on and so forth. So maybe speak to that as you've seen so many people come through and get your services, being an entrepreneur yourself. How important do you think that is for people who are entrepreneurs and in business to look and feel their best?
100%. We always tend to forget that, yeah, we are the ones that are the vehicle that runs it. And if we're worn out and tired, it's really important to have that balance. Even with myself, I need to like dedicate and make time. Even my staff are like, Elanna, no, it's time to get in for your services. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's something that you should prioritize. The more you look and feel confident. And as well, like I said earlier, as being a product of the product is always number one. Like I always encourage my staff as well to get in and treat yourself because yeah, if you're not taking care of yourself, why would somebody else want to be treated and taken care of as well?
Yeah, so true.
Win-win.
I agree. And I know also what's important to you is family and friends, and you do a lot of giving back within the community. And so how important had been balance for you as a business owner? And have you gone through ups and downs, and how have you carved out time for yourself?
It took me at least 10 to 12 years to say no. I think that was my biggest. I was always, yes, I'll do this and I'll do this. And I was wearing myself thin. And then when I started learning the no, I was taking more time for myself and spending more time with my family and friends and doing things that I enjoy, like biking and hiking, and yoga is a big one for me. And yeah, I think as an entrepreneurial, you can't say yes to everything. You've got to have that good balance of you time as well.
Yeah, I agree. And it's something
you're not going to enjoy doing what you do.
And that was exactly what I was just going to say, or else you're not going to bring the best of you to your business anyways. You're going to start to become resentful. The passion that you first started with might start to dwindle because your values outside of business aren't going to be met. And I know that as business women and business men, that is, I think, the ongoing lesson of how do we do that, right? How do we have harmony amongst all these things? And so kudos to you for being able to do it. And I love that you said it took you 10 to 12 years. And I can relate to that. I'm on a 13th year and I'm just learning how to do it better.
You know what? I don't want to be the person that knows it all anyways. I like learning as I go.
Yeah. And so speaking of that, maybe share. So first part of my question is, what are maybe 2 to 3 tips you would give somebody? You've been in business 20 years. Like, once again, I just think that's amazing. Not many people make it 20 years, Elanna. So honestly, congratulations. And what would be some guidance that you would give people who are just starting out based on your 20 years of experience?
We did touch base, having that confidence in yourself, passion, drive, surrounding yourself around like-minded people. If you are who you surround yourself with, that's a big one. Yeah, being a product of the product, walk the talk. It's whatever your business you're in, you gotta be true to that. And yeah, networking. I can't say that strong enough. I've had some of my favorite people over the past 20 years that started off with being clients to now being my best friends. But yeah, making it more like a community with like-minded loved ones.
Yeah, I love that. What,
Yes.
what do you think you've learned about yourself the most over the last few years?
Nothing phases me no more. I've gone through so many things and I'm just like, next, I've got
Yeah.
this. It's a fun ride. I've loved every minute of this 20 years. It's crazy to say out loud, but yeah, 20 years. I have a remarkable staff, remarkable clientele. I've got most beautiful reviews on Google. Like, just makes you feel warm and fuzzy. All the hard work and dedication that I put making Rejuve as it is, it's been the best ride.
That's awesome. How have you remained passionate? Like, how do you keep your passion going for that long?
Seeing my clients' results. I've had the most amazing clients. I've had numerous clients crying of their happiness, how Rejuve has changed their lives, made them better human beings, and just, yeah, I would say for sure my clientele. I wake up never dreading I'm going to work. I'm waking up excited that I get to help somebody.
Yeah, that's cool. I believe that's a choice though, right? Like how you said, like you have a passion and a why attached to the reason for going into work, and it's to make a difference in someone's life, right? Which in turn makes you feel better about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I love that. Okay. So what about moving forward? If I can ask, what would you say you feel at this point in your life? If you want to elevate to the next level or grow your business professionally or yourself personally, what would you say are some areas that you want to improve on?
I've never had is a business coach.
Interesting.
Never had a business coach. Well, that's something that I've been thinking about working towards, just seeing what else I could bring to value for my company or for myself. What else? Yeah, I think stepping back actually a little bit more from Rejuve. I spend, I don't know how many hours a week here. Having my staff run the shop more is another thing that I've been really putting my mind and energy towards.
Oh,
Having them take the reins because I'm confident that they can.
yeah. No, that's awesome. I don't know if you remember when we were at the event we were at, and I was sharing the stages we go through in life. And if we're relating it to business, that advanced level stage, in order to go there and grow there, a big part of it is having leverage. And so stepping back and letting go of control, trusting other people with your baby and your business, holding other people capable, and all those aspects that you're going to grow through as you start doing that. I'm excited for you, actually. That's really cool.
Yeah, that really hit home to me actually when you had that speech.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a part of my event. You really killed it. I see your passion. I feel your passion. Actually, a couple times during your speech, I had arm hairs go up. Like you're also on the right path, and I'm very proud of you as well, Kelley.
Yeah, thank you. And it's why I love my podcast so much, because even yourself and myself, we just kind of circle in each other's network. Every couple of years we pop in there, and I believe in that. And I believe in networking. I believe in relationships. And for everybody listening, I do believe that your net worth equals your network. And in order to have a network, you've got to invest in other people and invest in relationships. And sometimes we can get caught up in being busy and not feeling like we have the time for it. And it is an effort to build relationships. Yet it doesn't always have to be a lot of time invested. We'll go back to yours, quality over quantity. It's just quality time, right? Being thoughtful, giving where you can give, creating value where you can. What would you share? This is a good topic, I think. What would you share are some things people can do to build their relationships while they're networking?
What their service is. Like for me, I'm lucky enough that I can donate spa package to charities. I do that a ton. And that does bring a ton of clientele my way, like organically. Yeah, I guess it really depends if you're in a service industry or if you're like in your one-on-one. Yeah, working with my clientele base has been really important. Text messages, email blasts. I'm still old fashioned. I pick up the phone and call my clients that I haven't heard from in a while and just touch base with them. Sending out birthday cards to clients. I think that's also another little thoughtful tidbit thing to do. Same thing, but it's just old fashioned, but it works. Somebody just being thoughtful and yeah, being true to yourself.
Yeah. The personal, being authentic, the personal touch, running business how you would. I love that. What are you doing now? So speaking just about relationship building, I know you're big in the community outside of your business. So goodwill, right? If you're a business owner and just a human being, right? Like goodwill is always a great idea. Finding an area that you're passionate about, once again, speaking of passion, to go and give back and do our best and do our part to make the world a better place. And tell us about what you do within the community, because it's also really inspiring.
My mom and I are very big at YYC Homeless. It's a beautiful charity that they come out every Saturday, 6 on 6, and provide a warm meal. So my mom and I, and we do have a group of other people that come out and volunteer. And we make up to 100, 120 warm meals that people can come and enjoy for a Saturday night. Plus also do like a little grocery shop. I know Sobeys, Club's Bread. There's a bunch of other companies that provide food and whatnot, or little goodie bags. We've done a lot where we have a bag full of essentials that they get to take home with them. That makes my heart feel warm and fuzzy. So we really enjoy doing that, where you're really hands-on. And I do donate a lot of money to the women in need or in from the cold is a really big one for me too. I think anything more, my mom raised us girls by herself for most of the years, really putting my time and energy for women like that.
Oh, I love that. So I was just going to ask why you chose to give back. And so it has a lot to do with honoring your mom by the sounds of it and wanting to give back to other women as well.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's where my passion's been at a very young age is, yeah, being a strong, independent woman and helping out wherever I can.
Mhm. And how has that inspired you personally and within your business? What do you feel is the value, right? Once again, of taking time to contribute to your community?
It doesn't even feel like a chore. I just enjoy doing it. That's my happy place. It makes me
Mhm.
feel super warm and fuzzy, and I get to do it with my family and friends and staff. And it's just, yeah, it's like an adrenaline rush. You just get to see people smile. It's like a free, beautiful gift to give somebody is your time and energy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And so as we're speaking, what is coming to my mind too, just about giving back and being outward focused. And I don't know why these two go hand in hand for me yet. I go back to COVID because I feel as a business owner, what all of us have in common is probably some crazy stories around what we persevered through with COVID and just being more compassionate towards people and empathetic towards people in general. Yet if we're speaking to entrepreneurs and business owners, an understanding of what I'm sure there's business owners I know business owners who had to close their doors, right? And start again or go back and get a job or do things like that. And so you made it through COVID, which is amazing. Yet, what advice would you give a business owner who maybe is still struggling from the aftermath of COVID and their mindset is that they've lost some confidence in themselves? What would you say to some of those business owners to keep going? Because you're still here and you've persevered and you're ramping back up. And so what guidance would you give?
Really great question, Kelly. It's a tough one. I think my best would be, yeah, surround yourself with like-minded people that can help you build your confidence and motivation again. I'm always here. I'm at Rejuve. You're more than welcome to stop on by and go for tea, or just seeing how we could all help each other build and grow. Keeping up with, yeah, other businesses. If you look around Rejuve, I'm promoting and helping so many others for businesses, and it's free for them, really. It's why not? Yeah, reach out with other like-minded entrepreneurial women
Yeah.
or men.
Well, lock arms with people, help each other promote, be more outward focused, which is an abundance mentality too, right? Over scarcity. And you're in Kensington. I'm curious, have most of the storefronts flipped since you've been there? Is there any other ones is there many that have stood 20 years like you have?
It's funny. I was just over at Splash of Fashion. My good friend owns that one, Mandy. And yeah, she's been there for 35 years selling clothing, and she's top of the line, amazing clothing. She's been there for 35 years, and there's Roastery. He's been there for close to 40. Other than that, Beehive across the street from me. I think those are really the only ones that have stood this for as long as I've been here anyways, other than the Safeway. But yeah, it's wild. There's
Yeah.
been lots of changes. It's tough. Being an entrepreneur it's not a walk in the park. It's a full-time job 24/7.
Yeah. It's really true. So you really got to once again go back to here's what I'm curious what you would say. Like, why do it then? It's why do we do this again? Right? Like it's like well for me, right?
Oh, I feel like all the time, but trust me, I have many times. My mom's like, why?
I think there's something in an entrepreneur's DNA, right?
Yeah.
What comes to mind for you though when I ask you that though? Why are you doing it? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I don't know. I know I could do anything I put my mind to. And if I wanted to start something new, Rejuve's like family. All my clientele, I see more than I see my friends most of the time. And I feel like I'm the counselor as well as I'm sure people come to just talk. And how about human touch? And just going back to COVID, obviously I was closed for 4 months, which really hit me hard, obviously. But the second I was able to open up my doors, phone was off the hook. People miss that human touch and that one-on-one-ness. That was really hard for a lot of people. So I was really happy to be able to open up my doors and be there for my clientele. And yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a whirlwind ride, but I don't regret any minute of it.
No, I love that. That's a great answer, right? The human touch. And even for everybody who's listening, I believe a lot of times, even myself, when you start something in the very beginning, we really actually don't know where it's going to take us and where it's going to lead us and the lessons we're going to have that come from it and the blessings that are going to come out of it. And anything worth doing is going to have sacrifice, right? And adversity. And so to move through it and to be able to be on the other side sharing is awesome. And so that's a few more questions for you. What would you say now it would be your version of success, right? So you started this business 20 years ago. I'm sure like in the beginning, it was to simply open and have it be a success, right? Get the ball rolling. You've gone through the different years. Yet what does success look like to you now, personally and professionally?
Stepping back, starting to do more of me rather than always being here and which like I said, I love, but I think now it's a new chapter on spending some more time on me. It makes me happy. And for me, that looks like more charity work, to be honest with you, being more focused, spending my time outside of Rejuve and helping more on a different level rather than beauty.
Yeah, fair enough. What else? What else? So let's say you have the time. I'm the genie. I'm like, you got it, Elanna. You've got time. Now what?
I'm really passionate about the human or the sex trade stuff. So that's my passion. That makes my blood boil. That makes me light up. And I want to do what I can to help these poor babies. Having 7 sisters, it's, oh my God, I can't imagine if anything were to happen.
Yeah. So clearly you have a desire. Once again, once a trailblazer, always a trailblazer, right? So you have a desire to go and lead the charge and make a difference, I can tell, because a lot of people's answers might not be to go and make an impact in these different areas. I can see where your heart lies.
It's scary, and I know a lot of my family and friends are like, that's a door you probably don't want to open, but I don't have children. I have nothing holding me back. I think it would be my next legacy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you. And what would you say? So another question, what would you say to somebody who's listening, who's been in business for a while? Maybe they've been in business for 10 years or something like that, and they're just struggling to get to the next level, right? And they see they're in action, they're doing things. What would be 2 or 3 pieces of advice you would give somebody to level up?
I think the business coach would be a big one. Like, I know I'm surrounded by amazing people, but actually having a one-on-one business coach, I think that's probably why I am not a franchisor. But I think the one-on-one is really important. Having the best staff that you can trust is number one for me. The big one is having good staff that you completely trust with your business whole, that they're also passionate about it. And the third one, life balance. I mean, like you said, not burning out, not losing that fire, making sure you were taking care of yourself and doing things that you love rather than just working 24/7, burning yourself out.
I love that. I've always believed in having a mentor because mentors can see our blind spots and support us through those. I've always had a mentor to be able to pick brains and I also believe in surrounding myself with people who have what I want in the way that I want to get there as well. So that I'm not always, for example, the smartest one in the room or the one who's done business the longest, like those kinds of things. So I have somewhere to elevate to. So I agree with you. And then staff, I love that, right? Like team, we're as strong as our weakest team member. So just having people that you can trust. I think as a business owner, that's a big one. Surrounding yourself with people that you can trust and life too. And then definitely that balance. And my good friend, actually, you met her, Jody. She talks about, I'm really practicing her. She has something called pink and blue energy, but looking at her energies. And as women in business, I think sometimes it's very easy to become masculine because we're leading, we're doing, we're driving, right? We're in the I'm making money space, solving problem space, being creative space all of the time. And so it's not as easy if I'm speaking right now and those that are listening can resonate, right? I have a feeling Elanna's the same way as me. It's not as easy to step back and to chill, for example, or take that time in stillness. Yet I believe there's so much power in there and there's a lot of gifts in there and that we can become even more productive when we allow ourselves to do that. So I'm excited, Elanna, to see what happens with you personally and professionally when you allow yourself those things. You've already created so much success for yourself. And I'm excited to see you put yourself first and go do some other things that you have a passion for and you deserve it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Kelley.
Yeah.
Taking time to reflect. COVID was for sure that. It took 4 months to, hey, now what am I going to do? How am I elevated Rejuve in so many different ways, which was really lovely. And I think, the biggest one would be taking time to reflect.
Yeah.
Knowing what your next goal is.
That's awesome. And so if there was one more thing you want to share, is there any last thoughts that you have that you want to make sure you share with the listeners?
I'm always here. If you have any questions or whatnot, I would love to do tea or whatnot, I'm just
pop in and say hi and meet Elanna. Where could people find you though, on social media or your website? Maybe just share there. If somebody's like, I actually do want to pop in, or I want to check out what some of these services are. Where can they find you?
We're in Kensington, 3rd Ave and 10th Street. My website's rejuveyourbody.com. And all my social media is Rejuve Your Body. So you can find me on all the platforms. Other than that, we're in Kensington, 2nd level, same side as Safeway, across the street from the Beehive. Cute little spot to come and hang out in Kensington. There's lots to see and do.
And I've been there and I have had your infrared body wrap and it is awesome. Maybe because is that your longest standing service that you've had, Elanna? Maybe just share what that is for the people who are listening who might not know.
The infrared body wrap, we start off measuring your weight, percentage of body fat, your hydration. Then we do a full body measurement. You're then lying on an infrared heating blanket, in which time your massage therapist applies a lymphatic drainage / cellulite massage, really going in and breaking down and draining toxins and fat cells that are blocking the lymphatic. And then we finish off with a reflexology hand and foot massage using all beautiful pure essential oils. And then you're wrapped up in the infrared heating blanket, in which time you sweat like you just finished a 2 to 3 hour workout. All the stuff that we broke down and drained, you are now flushing it out through your largest organ, which is your skin. You're catered to lemongrass cool cloths on your forehead and neck. And most people sleep. You can get a reflexology foot massage while you're in the wrap. It's just an hour and a half of pure bliss.
It sounds like it as you're sharing. I'm like, that? Blissful. Yeah, that's like the perfect word for it. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So everybody go down and get an infrared body wrap. You won't regret it. I've had one and it is blissful. Elanna, thank you so much for being here and just congratulations on, like I said, 20 years here in Calgary, being a staple here in Calgary. I'm excited what you're going to do next and I'm excited to watch what unfolds for you.
And I really appreciate you, Kelley. Much love to you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks so much. Okay, I just want to thank Elanna for being on the episode today and sharing with us about what it takes to have a business that stands the test of time, 20 plus years. That's quite an accomplishment, right? And so having the courage to even get started and having a product or service that you're passionate about, taking that leap of faith, being resilient, going through the ups and downs, being able to adapt and be flexible to your environment, to the economy, to obstacles that come our way that we don't know are going to happen, right? The unknown really is what it's all about when you're an entrepreneur. We don't really know. It's about having faith and being in action. Elanna built a community, which is really important. That was one of her big messages that I got from our conversation today. And she's just really passionate about being of service to other people. And so just want to thank her for being on today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a comment, download. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple or Google or one of the podcast platforms. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And just thank you so much for being here and listening. With love, greatness, and success, it's your host, Kelley Beveridge.